someone to help her with a retail store. And she asked me to be on her board because I was running the largest retail store in Michigan. And I also became a client. She got me really good. She got like 5 accounts out of me. So obviously I believed in her as my trusted agent, and I also believed in New York Life. And so it's really easy for me to talk about it because I'm already sold in and I believe in the company. So when Marty came to me, I just wasn't thinking about that I was going to be with her in this capacity at all. And so one of the things that had happened in my former career, I became very close to my manager who actually hired me. She had been in the company for 30 years. And but how I got there was because someone recommended me to basically look at an opportunity because I was looking for a way to sustain myself. The manager that was my manager at the former company, she said, when you get this age, I'm not going to tell you what my age, when you get this age in a company, make sure you have an exit strategy. You need to be out of here by this age. I said, really, Donna? Yes, have an exit strategy. I want you to make sure you have that. So when I started thinking about it, I should have did it 5 years before, but I did it 2 years before. And I ended up thinking about what I wanted my legacy to look like. And I wanted to be an example to my children. And so I believe in God and I believe in love. And the Bible says a good man always has something for his children and his grandchildren. My family has never done that. I lost my mother when I was 9. Didn't have a dad. And if my extended family hadn't taken me, I could have been in the system. So people never know where you come from. They don't know anything about you. They think everything is easy. And I've always been the person that took care of everybody else. Even my extended family wanted me to want to step up and you could take control of this family and do all these things. That's not what I wanted to do. But in this whole idea of what do I want my legacy to look like, I wanted to help people. And so I started thinking about what is it that people say about me? You give good advice, Lynor. You always support everybody. But you give everything away. You give all your stuff away. You always helping people. So I was thinking about my life, what I had been through, and what did I want to leave behind. And I started thinking about writing a book. So I became an author to help girls about, build their self-esteem because I had a problem with that. And I was always teased and bullied younger. And I didn't have my mom and dad or anyone to help me with that. I had an extended family that just put their arms around me and helped me to become stronger. And so I decided to write my first book. And I have 3 volumes. And by the time I started to finish the second book, a friend of mine had come to me and said, I recommended you for something, and I think you'd be fantastic at it. And I said, what is it? And he said, it's insurance. I'm like, oh no, I'm not a salesperson, right? But I kept thinking about my legacy, and I thought about my, how many years I'd have to be able to sustain myself, and what I wanted that legacy to look like. And so I knew that I had to make other funds. So I was thinking about being a consultant. So when my friend came to me, he said, this is a perfect opportunity for you, Lynor. And he had recommended me for the job before. And that company would give you great benefits. They pay for all your benefits. I'd make my sales every year because I wanted a free trip. So I worked for this vacations. So I could take the whole family to Europe every year or something. And so the company just said, this is fantastic. Every year was golden, blah, blah, blah. And I just walked in the door. They gave me the key. I had 100-something people. Well, I built it from 60 people to 120 people. They gave me the key. That's what you have to do. I had like 3 days of training. And I understand Kim's position coming into a whole new organization and having to get an office up to speed. Because you have to make sure that you are motivating people. Are they on the same page? How can I help them so that they can help the company? So there's a lot involved in that. And I have a lot of respect for her and coming here and maybe looking at everyone and says, okay, I gotta help this organization, this particular branch, what am I gonna do? So I can sympathize with that, I respect that, and I'm on board. So when I was in that company, I learned so much about myself being a leader. And I remember my ex-husband now saying, what do you think you was born to do? And without even thinking about it, it just came out of my mouth. I was born to lead. may not sound like it right now, but don't get me in action. So I'll try to grab it real soon. So anyway, I ended up writing this book. I'm on the second volume. My friend comes to me and tells me, listen, she has a book of business, it's bringing this amount of money every month. I'm like, okay, that's where I am, but I need to increase this. So this is great, what do I need to do? I had a conversation with her, I wrote the letter of intent, went through all the process. Chase was going to back me, blah, blah, blah. I'll go and get my license for health and life, and all I had to do was casual and property. But it wasn't meant for me to have that. Because before that could happen, her husband got cancer, unfortunately. And she needed to leave to go to Florida within 6 months, and she didn't have 6 months to wait for me. Because I would have had to do more things for AAA before I could open an office on my own. So it was like the sweetest deal. The fact of the matter is, everything was already set up. All I had to do was get the train, get the other license, go in, add 2 more people to the team, blah, blah, blah. But I wanted to be trained the right way. I didn't want to just be thrown into a position like that, even though it could be very lucrative for me. And I mentioned that to Marty, so when I was doing my research about it, I went to Marty because she was the person who sold me insurance. So she had to know more people in the business that I could talk to. So I talked to all those people, looked at the numbers and everything when I was going through the process. You know, time goes on, I'm losing, I'm depleting money. I lost my money, I lost my apartment, I lost my car. I still don't have a car. You just went to get a car. Okay, so I don't have transportation. So what ends up happening was, so I go to Marty, I get all this advice. She is so beautiful. She put me to the right people. I do all my numbers and everything. So later on, time has passed, and I'm still writing my book. The second one ends up getting finished, and then Marty calls me. Marty and Muriel called me to be exact. And they said, so we just wanted to find out, did that deal ever go through? I said, no, not because of me, her husband got cancer, blah, blah, blah. And so they said, well, you know, Miriam and I want you to come into the office. We want to talk to you about something. So I'll go into the office, and we have this conversation, and they wanted me to be their assistant. And as they're talking to me, they're like, no, you don't need to be an assistant. You definitely need to have your own business here, too. You can do that here. And so they explained to me a little bit about New York life, but I have such trust in Marty. It's unbelievable. When we're talking about mentors, you need mentors and coaches in this position, in these jobs. And I'm just going to say it. I know some establishments will not be happy with me, but everybody can't be a mentor. If you're not cut out to be one, when that opportunity comes around to you to be a mentor or a coach, and you know that's not you, don't take it. Because you're going to damage somebody else if you're not in it for the right reason, right? Marty is a person who is just unselfishly and loving. She does everything for the right reason. And when she brought me in, she didn't just lead me to the dogs and bring me in as ARD. She literally would tell me as much as she could before it happened. Now, I'm going to tell you, when you come in, it's going to be like a water hose on you. Think about those people that are doctors and they're trying to get to their residency and they're going through all this. That's you. You're going to be working day and night. And don't give up. And anytime you have a problem, you can handle it. You went through Delta Sigma Theta, and we have a hell week, and it's hell. You can't get through that week, you just ain't gonna make it. So anything I've ever tried out for, I'm always destined to finish what I start. That's important. I don't want to be a failure. I want to finish what I start. So I came in with support of my sorority sisters. Stacy was here. She was brought in by Marty and Muriel, and that was my support team. I was put on a study group. Lucky me. How many people here got on a study group as a new org, right? So you can see these things make a difference when you have someone in your corner. And I don't like to go to people for help. I don't. So when I ever go to Marty, I felt like I was bothering her. I wouldn't even go to my manager at the time, who was Jason. And he said, you're the only person that doesn't come to me. But it used to bother me so much that people sat in his office all damn day. I'm sorry. And they would just park in here. And they park in Linda's office. And I'm like, I can't even get a word in. So I started something. I'm leaving a little bit of things out, but I started something. When it was time for my PRP, I'm like, oh no. They're not gonna just come in here and interrupt my PRP. I get this 1 hour with my manager to talk. I started putting notes on the door. PRPM process. If it's not an emergency, you cannot come in or whatever I said, and you need to contact him. So it really matters the people that support you, because you can get off to a really good start. And I have met so many people that have been really supportive to me, and they really do help you. So there is more like a family at New York Life. I have felt that since I've been here. When they know that you're serious about what you want to do and you're here, I'm praying this is my last stop. I'm not trying to go anyplace else except for right here.
Awesome.
So Marty actually was very instrumental in helping me. I have these, particularly being hurt myself, I've had walls set up and working in corporate America for 30 years that I don't trust anybody. And that's really difficult for me to go to people, even our consultants. If the consultant worked with me and I didn't like the way that they handled something, or I didn't get enough out of it, I won't work with that consultant anymore. That doesn't mean he's not a good consultant, it just means he's just not for me. So don't give up, because people are in those places for a reason. So you never know why God puts you in those spots. So that's how I got here, and I'm very grateful for it, because I would have never known that this was my path.
Awesome.
But now I'm going to tell you something. I had asked for 3 things. This is the reason why I stayed. I had asked for 3 things. I said, please put me in a place where I know I'm supposed to be there, because I'm going to walk right in that door. I'm not going to go through a lot. It's going to be for me, and I'm going to walk right in. And after talking to Jason, I just walked right on in. The second thing I asked for is that I wanted to help thousands of people. Just help me, listen, where am I supposed to go to help all these people? I thought it was going to be because of my book. But I still can do that. But what career can you have that you can change a person's life and have such an impact? That'll never go away. And just my first 4 months, I had sold 3 annuities and all these other things, and Jason kept saying, he was pushing me. He kept saying, you need all this money. I was like, why? You're gonna go to Summit. I'm like, I don't want to go to Summit. I need to make this amount. So every time a promotion will come out and they talk about Summit, that wasn't my goal. Marty will tell you. I was like, Marty, I'm not trying to go to Summit. I'm trying to get to this point. I need to have this amount coming in every single month. If I do that, I'm gonna do that anyway. So that was my attitude. Within 4 months, I traded in September. By December, I had made it. And I ended up being, I think, what did they call me? Head of class. And so we would have this big event, and my big face is on the screen. I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? They told me I was going to reward, but I didn't think it was going to be something like that. So that year just kept going, frustrated and all, crying all the time. Just kept it moving. And as a newer, we always don't feel as confident because we don't know as much. And I just had to get past that. I didn't want to contact certain people. I hate making phone calls. And so I said it to a friend of mine. They said, I don't know why you hate making phone calls. Everybody wants to talk to you. And I was like, but to me, I don't see myself that way. How other people see me, I don't see myself that way. You make you feel that way about yourself, like, well, people see me this way, not even knowing it. So I had to get past that, and I just kept pushing it, and I ended up making Summit. And so I go to Las Vegas, and I have a great experience. And Summit was the change for me, because it gave me a totally different perspective. That perspective was, there's a whole lot more that's available to you if you really want it. I couldn't believe the people that I have met. I'm not inspired by much. And so, I'm gonna tell you, what kicked it off for me is Carrie Hall. Okay, we might be lives apart from each other, but Carrie Hall's story and everything she went through to be where she is, it just really resonated with me, and I got a chance to meet her, and then I met more people, and then I'm starting to sit there and thinking, oh, this is the reason why we're doing all this. And so it comes together. It starts to come together. It starts to have a bigger picture for you. And if you listen to the stories of these people that have made it, regardless of what has happened to them, you know you can do it. Okay, I can do this. And I have the people to support me. Look at Miriam Marty by my side. Stacy is pushing me. The thing is, the GO office that we're in is amazing, because Linda's not like no other development manager. You don't get that kind of person. in other places. She came to my apartment when I had to move out and moved me back to my house. And I was like, nobody does that. So she is really in your corner. And I don't like to bother Jack, but I know what to go to Jack for. Jack is my go-to person for this. This is a Jack question, right? So I know to go to Jack for that. So I don't bother him as much, but I go to him for certain things. He is phenomenal in terms of knowing the product and tell you what to say, things that I didn't know about. So people are really for you. You may not think that they're really for you, but they really are. They're not just pushing you to tell you to do this work. There's a reason behind why they're telling you to do the work. That's why I'm all in. I'm all about the earning. So, and the more that you learn, the more you earn. So I'm just getting headaches all the time. I was getting so much smarter. You know, just learning so much. I can't get it in fast enough. I seriously can't get it in fast enough. So my kids call me a professional student. You know, because like my oldest one, he has a master's. My youngest one, he has a master's degree too. He's a professional college coach. And he goes, I don't even know why you're studying so much. I couldn't study it. And Mom, you're so old. Why are you still studying so much? So I had to go through this whole explanation of what we do. So Summit, really, the reason why I stayed is because I knew that it was possible after that meeting. And the support that I was getting at New York Life is immeasurable with the people that show that they care about me. I think that you have to make sure that you're in it for the right reason. Go back to why you're doing this. Go back to your why. Listen to what the managers are telling us, because it really is a reason why they're telling you to do it. So this is the reason, that's one, why I stayed. And this is what I've learned so far. I've learned that if you really have a desire and a passion for people, and you're here for that reason, just not just for earning, it's going to pay off, and you're going to really help out a lot of people. So I've learned to go with my heart, to listen to my managers, and I've learned that it really is possible for your dream to be it's unfolding right in front of me.
Awesome.
I walk right through the door. I'm helping thousands of people, and I don't ever have to worry about money again. This is where you're going to learn how to use money, how to make money, what's important with money, what to do and what not to do. So with that really said, I think that you just have to make sure you have a process. I kept telling me over and over again, people from AMU have been very supportive to me. They reached out to me, and I didn't even know anyone. They were very instrumental. A senior agent who just retired grabbed onto me. He was purposely every month making phone calls to me. And he was just making sure that I stayed on my process. Another person reached out to me. Whenever I was on the edge, I did call Wendy. She's a top agent as well. She's in the Bahamas, I think it is. And she said, Lynor, Nassau, go back to your, she said, you came in with a warm market, didn't you? I said, yeah. And she said, I didn't. So just go back to, I had to just make my way, and she's a top agent. Go back to your warm market. I just told another new work this. Go back to your beginning and ask them for referrals. All I do is I'll make 3 phone calls, and that was it. And I found out from one of my people that she is ecstatic about me, and she talks about me all the time. She's working like 20 people as a referral. She's like the center of influence that I didn't even know I had. So now I get other phone calls from her. So that's another thing that I think that people have to realize, is that you really do have to make sure that you're consistent with the calling and doing the right thing, because people will refer you. And the process is very important. Learning is very important. Getting through all your materials when you're not a queue and everything, and also getting registered. Because I delayed my registration. Every time I was pushing to get registered for just the SIE, I would never finish the chapters. I kept rushing to do it, do 2 times. I can't afford to miss it this time. I understand. I got the memo, and I understand the assignment. So that's really important. You hear people talk about the same thing all the time, that makes a difference. It must be true, because that's everyone else. You're not going to get by without it. So those three things are really important, and I've learned that I have to continue with a good process. I have to continue to learn. I need to get registered, and I know that for sure. And I just want to say that if you're at any doubt, talk to someone that you trust to help you stay on track and stay focused. But I am so grateful to be here, and I'm just so honored to be standing here. This is like real. It's like my dream is unfolding right in front of me.
Awesome.
So I just want to say, I just appreciate everything.
Awesome.
And I'm just happy to meet new people. I'm happy that Kim is here.